dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria.
It's the Bearded Movie Guy. Today it looks at Ghostbusters. It's Classic Tuesdays. Let's see what he has to say about this film. Brought to you by the Bearded Movie Guy.
Hi, I'm the Bearded Movie Guy, and this week on Classic Tuesdays, I'm looking at my favorite comedy ever, Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters stars Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Harold Ramis, Sigourney Weaver, Ernie Hudson, Rick Moranis, and Annie Potts. And Slimer. Can't forget him. If you don't know, let's look at what it's about. Ghostbusters is about three scientists, pseudo-scientists, kind of doctors, kind of not, that get kicked out of their university, but they've just seen their very first ghost ever, and they did readings on it, and they're like, we can catch these things if we dump a whole lot of money into some proton packs and stuff. And so they do. They become Ghostbusters, which at first everyone thinks is a joke, but fast enough, you realize there's a bunch of ghosts around, and these are the guys you call, and they become celebrities, and yeah. Dan Barrett's a woman who was their very first client, who came home to her kitchen to find her fridge kind of infested with Zool. Yeah, Zool. It's not like one of those Mediterranean dishes. It's like, it's a demigod. He's a forebearer of Gozer. I'm sure that clears it all up for you. So she's their first client, and they bust a lot of ghosts, and they get another Ghostbuster, Ernie Hudson, who's awesome. And the four of them end up trying to save the world from an apocalypse of Gozer, the Gozerian, coming, who will choose any form that you think of to be your destroyer. Ah! That's all I'm going to say about the plot, because if you don't know it, watch the movie already. Ghostbusters is my favorite comedy of all time. Peter Venkman is one of my favorite movie characters of all time. And Bill Murray is my favorite actor. Ghostbusters was original, funny, smart. The special effects looked really good for the time. They still don't look bad, actually, to be truthful, though. Still pretty good. Slimer still looks great. Ivan Reitman directed this team, and it was pretty freaking awesome. Ghostbusters is one of those movies that is just classic. I saw it as a kid. Now, I'll be honest. First time I watched Ghostbusters, I didn't make it through it, okay? I was a little whiny kid and I ran into the theater. I'm sorry, okay? But I'm all bearded up now and I love Ghostbusters. Actually, I watched it like shortly after that again and watched the whole thing. I was like, whoa, what was I scared of? I'm an idiot. But anyways, this is one of the most quotable movies. I have quoted this movie, I don't know how many times. Both my daughters quotes this movie. Every time I pull anything out from underneath something, I always say, and the flowers are still standing. The cast of Ghostbusters is great. It brought Harold Ramis and Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd together. Originally, you probably know this, but you may not know this, originally Bill Murray was not the choice. Dan Aykroyd and Harold Ramis wrote the movie, and they wrote it for Jim Belushi, who died. And so they were like, crap, we need someone else. And they went to Bill Murray and said, can you do this? And Bill Murray was actually really smart. Bill Murray has been trying to get a movie made that he loves, and he wanted to make it. It's a remake of a movie called The Razor's Edge. And he thought, this is my chance, because no one wanted him to remake it. But it's a really good movie. But it's not, it's a drama and stuff, and people were like, you're a comedian, stick to, and he's like, I want to make this movie. So he threw this proviso in. I will do Ghostbusters if you let me do Razor's Edge first. There's a train. Yeah, it worked. Razor's Edge is awesome. And they got Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters is a classic. Without a doubt, it's a fully bearded, 5-beard movie. So why haven't you watched it yet? And if you've watched it, watch it again. And I want to know, what's your favorite line? There's so many of them, but what's your favorite line? It also has one of the best insults about a man lacking genitalia in any film I've ever heard. It's just made me laugh every time. Thanks for watching. Until next time, stay bearded, everyone.
You've been watching the Bearded Movie Guy. He loves Ghostbusters. Who are you gonna call? Ghostbusters. When there's something strange in your video, what you gonna do? I don't know where I'm going with this, because there's no ghost in the video. Bearded Movie Guy! Yeah. Subscribe and tell your friends. And as always, YouTube safely. Ray, if someone asks you if you're a god, you say yes! Which is good advice. I'm throwing it out there. Even now, 30 years later, good advice. Do it.